Hi there, I'm Danny Walker. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how I turned this plain thrifted tweed jacket into a fabulous Balmain inspired coat. If you like content like this, make sure that you've subscribed and hit that notification so that you know when new episodes come out. This upcycle was incredibly easy. I went to Joann's and I found this beautiful trim that I loved. It had a little bit of shine, but not too much. So in order to prepare it, all I did was stitch down the edge of this just to prevent any fraying. If you want to see styled photos of this jacket, just give me a follow on Instagram at Danny Walker. Then I took a little bit of E6000. I know that you can use fabric glue, but I use E6000 a lot just because it has such a strong hold. And then I just pinned my trim onto the jacket just to make sure I liked how it looked. And then I spread out some E6000 and then really just pressed that trim into it. You'll notice that the jacket actually had its own leather trim on it, and I didn't want to cover that up. I actually wanted just to keep that leather trimmed look. So what I'm doing here is just gluing, and then in order to keep things in place, I just started pinning things down. If you love easy upcycles, please screenshot this episode, then post it to an Instagram story, or post then hashtag and tag me at Danny Walker so I can reshare it with my followers. Right here, I'm just cutting that edge. I want things to lay really flat. So I pinned that down after I glued it. Then I just tucked that part under. And then once again, I sewed the edge. This is something that I did just as an extra step. You could probably skip it, but you might be worried about things fraying. The last thing I did here was just add my same trim to the pockets. I wanted this jacket to look really embellished. So repeating that same step, once again, just sewing off the edges, and then I'm just using E6000 and then gluing that in place just like that. Adding a couple pins just until that glue gets a little bit tacky. Now it's time for the feathers. So I ended up using 2 yards of feathers. Each sleeve got 1 yard. All I did was cut this in half, and then I started sewing the feathers onto the edge. And I started right above the leather trim of the jacket. All I did for this was just tack it down in several places. So every few inches, this is actually a pretty easy step. See, as you can see, I'm giving it just a little bit of space and then just sewing this down. The feathers kind of get in the way, so what I started doing is just blowing on them a little bit as I was stitching this, just to give my hands some more room. Carefully cut the thread. Repeat this step on the other sleeve, let the glue dry, and you're done. That's the finished look. I hope this tutorial inspired you to upcycle some of your existing wardrobe instead of going out to buy some new things or just tossing the things that you have in the trash. I hope that you love this episode and that you'll choose to subscribe and then follow me on social media at Danny Walker. Thanks so much for tuning into this one.